Hey everyone, I decided to do a full moon reading. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I was just sitting, doing a little reading, drinking some coffee, and I was like, well, fuck it, let's do it. Let's play around and see what's in store for us. So let's see. I wanted to start off, I haven't used this deck for a while. It's the Prism Oracle deck. Super colorful, super fun, as you'll see. Very like minimalist too. Very colorful, very minimalist. I'm just gonna hop into the cards. I don't really have much to say outside of what the cards want to go through. Oh, beautiful. First card out is Faith. And I love this image on here because, I mean, it's one of the most basic kind of images of a cycle, as well as like a community or a chain. And it also kind of reminds me of Metatron's cube a little bit. I love also too, I'm not gonna gloss over the fact that the fear card is underneath here. And I think that is so adequate that the two cards that sandwich this entire deck in this moment are Faith and Fear. Because in all actuality, that's kind of what we're up against is, you know, in this time of things just being really polarized, you know, this huge rift really occurring that, like I said, when I speak of a spectrum, it's a sphere. It's not a line. We are elevating and moving from linearity into a more dimensional space. Meaning a space of more options, more freedom. But it's up to us to choose, again, what level of freedom we want to exist in, what level of like how many perceptions or possible ways we can perceive a situation, an experience, an event, you know, a solution. Well, I'm showing a little leg here. And so faith is, what do we want for ourselves? What are we hoping to change? And are we willing to discover that element of faith within ourselves? A type of faith that is sustainable and not something that's built on some fad or fashion of, you know, well, I heard that this works, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know better than anyone else once you pay attention to how you experience the world and how you co-create with the universe and participate in your own experiences, what works for you when it comes to building yourself up, when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to actualizing things. Because a lot of the time we use all of our strongest tools when we are in fear. When we're in fear, or when we're angry, or when we have less than love and light emotions. And that is where our power lies. And that is how shadow work works, bitch. So, like, let's get into it. I mean, this past weekend, I had some moments where I was angry, but you know what? Like, one of my guides is this amazing trickster type, and I have fun with it. I have fun with it. If I'm angry, I have fun with it, and I laugh at the absurdity because it's teaching me something. If I take it too seriously, I'm not learning anything, and I'm bound to get caught in some type of cycle, self-cycle situation. Oh. Chef's kiss. Next card out is the Void. The Void. I believe in one of my more recent videos, I was talking about that duality, that polarization, that stretching, that tension that's being created, that's actually creating, like, you know, the vaginal portal of potential that is the void, that middle space that we can all exist in and bathe in potentiality, bathe in this new paradigm that we're entering. Like, that is the space, like, that's the place, is the void. And with our faith, we gain entry into this magical cosmic portal, this magical cosmic vagina of potential and life and mystery. And we'll feel supported even though we're in a place of immense uncertainty, even though we are in a void of, you know, even though we're in the great unknown, all capital letters, all caps, it's proper, it's a proper place. I'm just being silly. All right, I'm gonna stop. I think the bottom was surrender. The bottom one, because I don't know. I shuffled, but I was like, fuck, let me see what's at the bottom. Surrender. So in our faith, we surrender, we enter the void. The void is a place, it's like that death card energy, big time death card energy. Okay, interesting. Hunger came out, but it was reversed. Not that I'm saying, and it's also big solar plexus energy here, because that's been a lot of what I've been feeling as I've been noticing, particularly the way it's been getting my attention is when it comes to posture, when it comes to my own like posture, which like now I'm like super aware of it. So I'm just gonna wiggle around and move my hair and like have a human moment for a second. No, but solar plexus, posturing ourselves. How, to me, and how I would like to convey this is about that being in the body experience, and what does our body need from us. Our body doesn't just have needs that rest and thirst and hunger and hot and cold. It goes so much deeper than that, because our body is a tool, a vehicle for perceiving and traveling through this time space. It is our organic vehicle for travel. You know, we can travel with our bodies up to like this, I think it's up to the the ninth dimension, I think. I think the ninth dimension is when we no longer have bodies. But I mean, that's long ways from now, depending on, your progress so far. But it can also just be as soon as right this instant, because time doesn't exist. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, or maybe I will. But the next card up is mystery reversed after this hunger card, which to me is like, then if you go into the body, you build that relationship, ask it for what it needs. Check out that posturing, seeing where you're slouching, where you're sore, where you're achy, loosening things up, experimenting with how you move and position yourself and your body, and you will see the world around you change. It's a reminder that our needs just go beyond the few things that are always at the forefront of our fearful, reptilian, or monkey mind, what have you, whatever kind of, however you like to call it. It goes beyond that. Because typically our fears are usually consumed by like one or two major subjects, like resources, money, food, basic, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that foundational bottom of that pyramid. Excuse me. And we do our body a disservice by merely considering that it's either hungry or it's thirsty. That it's sleepy or energized. It's just like, it goes way beyond that. Our body is a body of information. Our body holds and carries our feeling states. Our body transmutes those feeling states into physical conditions. And so we can gain a better sense of our surroundings, what we need to change or perhaps work on, or what deserves our attention more than just these, two monkey mind things of like, get food and get paid. Because we all have a right to that, and the universe will give us that, will deliver, for we are the universe. All right, so there's that. I could go on all day with those. I may pull another one toward the end, but I'm super excited. My best friend Terp gifted me this awesome deck, which I've wanted for so long, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So I'm super excited to have this sweet baby now in my possession. And so I will honor it by using it. Which is another thing I want to say, like, let go of the excess. If you have too much of something and you cannot make good use of it, then share it. Ask the universe to deliver someone that would make good use of it. And that excess could be in a multitude, could come into a multitude of things. It may not even be an object. It may just be excess of time or energy. And perhaps like you're looking for the right thing to volunteer for, or to serve, like your community through. Like, pay attention. Our mental space, when there's an excess, in perhaps like you have a brilliant mind and you're like, well, I can't shut it off. It's like, shut it off. And it's like, well, maybe you can find an activity that you could benefit from having an overactive mind. So reading really helps me. Okay. You like shove these 2 cards in my hand. All right, so first one out. I'm really tempted. Okay, this is okay. 9 of Wands, under faith. How appropriate is that? We are creatures of habit. We are people who unconsciously, sometimes quite consciously, create our futures based off of our past, not realizing that that is really how we're creating this current moment right now, because we're so out of this moment that we're creating it by not being here, because there's a feeling of lack. And one of the main foundations of depletion is us not even being present for whatever it is that we could be receiving in that moment. That is like lack mentality, to not even be present, to not even be here, to not even be available to receive, to not be grounded, to not be connected, to not allow yourself to be that little switchboard operator. You've left your station. For what? So your brain could get another taste of that fear transmission. So anyways, next card out. 7 of Wands, underneath the void. Interesting. I really like this one. I really like this card coming out right now. Especially the fact that she's in the desert, which is a threshold space, a space of potential, a space in between states. And the void is very much that space also. And, you know, she's battling these unknown forces, defending, you know, her territory, her birthright perhaps even. And she's wearing all of this black too. And wearing this skirt that it's like the same color as the sand dunes here, but also is that beautiful kind of like yellow color, which is one of my favorite colors, honestly. So I hope I'm still projecting. I hope you can still hear me. I started doing the grumble voice, but it's interesting because she's wearing all this black, and it's popping up under the void card, battling these unknown forces, and it's like, okay, you know what, you know. Let's tune into something different. I've talked about it before. It's like when we seek to shift into a new paradigm, into a new structure, we can no longer respond to things in the ways of the old. We must assemble a certain amount of responsibility that reflects a shift in consciousness, that reflects a shift in structure and form and compatibility. Like, we must create a new piece to therefore find its partner. You know, if we exist in a state of where we, you know, believe there must be a spectrum of some sort, well, let's pay attention to how their extreme sides look and feel incredibly similar, and what would be, you know, a different force outside of that. I just got this thing. So it's like a triangle, you know, and you have the polarizing forces kind of making that foundation. But when you elevate yourself, you reach the pinnacle, you're able to see clearly both sides as well as the foundation of that structure, of that existence. But then you create kind of a new shift, and you create this other space, and then it turns into, like it turns into a square. And so like we're able to then stabilize whatever it is that's going on and enter a new paradigm in which things are a little more stable and less shifty. So, a new plane of existence. I don't have the whiteboard, I'm sorry. But again, like, I think what ultimately we can do is enter that space of potential, enter that great unknown, uncertainty willingly, and revel in the fact that, okay, I have now chosen this space. That means at some level I have control over this. At some level I, you know, am at the great control panel with the universe. And I don't know yet what I'm supposed to do but I will exist here and I will learn to make this my nature. I will learn to thrive here by just allowing myself to make this space my new home for now. And so, you know, yes, we want a revolution. In the words of Kirk Franklin, we want a revolution, but, you know, we're being called to access and elevate those concepts and elevate and create something new. And we can only do that by seeking out that pause, that space of potential, which is not here, which is not familiar, which is not born from the past. I really feel like pulling this top one, so I'll do it. Okay, so hunger, 2 of Swords. Highly appropriate here. So we're dealing with having to create something, which again affects our mental, which affects our mental space and our heart. Like this 2 of Swords, it's like the mental space and the heart. The way that we form things. And if we seek to understand the correct form of things, we have a body of information. We have the space, that has needs. That is, if we treat it well, and we treat it consciously, we enter a conscious partnership with our physicality, then we have access to the unlimited library that is the universe, that is nature, that is the tree that is outside your front door, that can access all of the other realms within this natural space to teach you a few things about how to show up in this really interesting cosmic structure, quantum cosmic structure. I like playing with words, so whatever. But again, it's so funny because it's like her head exists between these two spaces, these two kind of levels of consciousness, these 2 streams of consciousness, and her head is right there and she's blindfolded. So she must rely on a new type of perception, a new way of perceiving the world. And remember, I've talked about, we have eyes everywhere. We are eyes everywhere. There are a multitude of perspectives and experiences that can be had within a moment's notice if we are just here willing to receive them. If we just lovingly exist within potential, within that cosmic vaginal void. Not allowing our past to be carried with us or to have any hold on us, to perhaps even adopt that concept that I shared with you all about the past, even in itself being something that's programmed into us, because we chose this avatar, this character to exist within this game. If you've seen Midnight Gospel, it's like that, except we forget every time. And we're loaded up into this reality with a series of past life, past memory files, perhaps even files that are only connected and tethered to this earth and to this planet in order for us to have all of the background information that we need in order to even exist here and to function and to join whatever's playing out here on this planet as it seeks to come back online with the rest of the galaxy, for us to then be involved in another level of existence. So with this Pisces full moon, it's about feeling states. It's about how we perceive, how we feel, and how we retrieve information through those bodies, moving away from the illusions of, okay, what is real and what is right in front of us, what is real, what our reality is, or even better yet, completing a cycle of, okay, the Piscean age is done, then this is how I emotionally navigated through that. Maybe I do it differently. How do I do it differently? How do I navigate my subconscious waters? How do I navigate new cycles of being in new ways? So, possibilities are there. It's up for you to choose. Yeah. So, I think that the best way to arm yourself, is to embrace the ways that you create and you participate in this world. acknowledge them, accept them, and move the fuck on and do something different. Try to do something different. Something that feels more natural to you. I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. I'm doing what's right for me. I'm doing what is healthy and what is right for me. What allows me to be a full participant and co-creator within this cosmic vaginal void. Because we're all existing at different levels of dimensionality right now. And people talk about the veil thinning. There's more than one veil. There's more than one veil here. You know, there cannot just be one of anything. There can be many reflections of one thing. But anyways. So I hope you enjoyed this. Reporting live from my living room with my beautiful pomegranates that I picked up. Because it's about to be fall, y'all. But anyways, if there's any ways you'd like to work with me, I offer readings. I do one-on-one coaching on both the Marco Polo app and in real time via Zoom. Let me know if you're interested in anything. I'm opening up my ongoing course, The Observatory, and we're kicking off this Thursday. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about interdimensionality, quantum consciousness. Going to reach new levels of being, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So please feel free to join me there. If you're interested, I will give you a sweet discount because I'm excited and I would like people to join me in this. I just, at the same time, I like having an exchange. So yeah, whatever that means. But I will be posting the Sabian and Chandra symbols for the full moon, either today or at some point tomorrow. So get ready for that if you'd like to read those. Let's see if there's anything else I'd like to share with you all. No, I think that's it. I may do another AMA this weekend. I mean, this week. Thinking about a topic I'd like to focus on. But I'll let that come to me. Color scopes will be coming out this week as well, so make sure you join me on Patreon for those. If not, I'll just share a couple here on IG. Other than that, I look forward to connecting with you another time. Until then, all right, now I'm gonna work on the remote. Here we go. Oh.